Good morning or afternoon, great agents across the country. Today is July 7th, 2016, and this is Mastermind call number 82. And I have to tell you one more time, please, we have one person in the queue. Hit *6 and hit 1 if you would like to actively participate in the call. Suzanne Barber, I don't see you on the call, but if you are on here, please hit *6 and hit 1. She's one of our shy agents that's had some great success, and she called me after the call last week and shared it with me. But all right, Tim, anything you want to share with the group? I'll go around the horn with the partners, and we'll get started.
One thing I'd say is that, you know, with the kind of change in when kids go back to school and, you know, when the summer starts and all of that, we're probably at about what would be the midpoint of the summer. Hope everybody had a wonderful, great July 4th celebration. It's been an interesting year so far and all of that. I had an interesting conversation with an agent the other day, and we were just kind of talking about things. And one of the things that he pointed out was that this is a time of year when he literally sometimes has his best success, because he says, you know, a lot of people that he competes against in his marketplace aren't around. And he said, that's why I decided to kick my stuff into high gear at this time of the year. That's an interesting point to ponder. You know, people are relocating, they're moving, what's going on. So if this is a time of year where you'd normally kind of sit back and take it easy, certainly enjoy the summer, enjoy your vacation, but it's also a tremendously good time to compete with less competition. So I urge you to, you know, rock and roll, do your business, and unfortunately remember that the business that we're in today and that we're here to talk about is one that isn't really very seasonal. People are needing to be served in the probate industry around the clock, and certainly that's what you're here for. So I urge you to make this a time that you invest your time and energy in your business. It'll pay off.
Great point, Tim. Well said. One of my original mentors used to always preach the 180-degree theory, you know, figure out what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. And like you said, most agents this time of year are going on vacation. They're taking it easy. So get out there and make hay while the sun shines. Chad, anything you want to share from a training perspective?
Yeah, you had mentioned it before the recording. I'm going to send an email out, hopefully maybe today or tomorrow. If you guys, everybody was really responsive to the survey. Thank you for doing that. It's almost like pulling teeth, like Jim said, to get our veteran agents to come back and you know, just take 15 minutes to share their success and what's working on the calls. And unfortunately, we get to hear it daily. So through support and through our conversations with subscribers who probably aren't on this call, we hear all these success stories and how much money they make and how many deals they've done. But not enough people come to the call. So I'm going to ask those of you, if anyone's live on the call or anyone listens to this recording and you have had success, take a minute and record it. I'm going to send you kind of a template for a case study, because the folks that are new on this call, we can all benefit from that. So, you know, what worked, what didn't, and tell us about fall on your face. Tell us about what finally worked, and, you know, so you can hear it from someone more than just us. So keep an eye out for that email I'm going to send out, and if you just take 5 minutes and jot down your success story, kind of your case study of how you made it work. We would be very grateful if you could do that.
Yeah, and Chad, yeah, you're familiar. Susan Barber called me after the last call. I know she's in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I think she got off to, when she started with us, she was kind of in a bit of a slump in her business because, you know, a lot of the old things that were working weren't working anymore. And I think she got off to a little bit of a slow start. And I know you worked with her pretty intensively over a couple-month period. And anyway, she called after the call. I asked her to call back today, but it looks like she's not here. But in the last month, she had taken 3 listings. 2 of them sold right away. And one of them that sold, she went out and sold the person another house. So we'd love to hear success stories with that. Do you have anything you want to add as far as what you helped her with? Do you remember, Chad?
I wasn't prepared for that. Way to put me on the spot.
Was she part of the mastery program? Do you remember? She had really good things. She said she spent a good amount of time with you on the phone, and you kind of coached her through it. So maybe she was in the last mastery class. I'm not real sure.
Maybe.
But,
I go so deep with so many people I can't keep all the names straight all the time. Sorry, Susan, if you're listening.
Well, she's not on. She's not on anyway, so I thought I would share that with her. And we have 3 people in the queue, guys. That's great. So if anybody else has any successes, questions, issues they want to share, real quick, my other partner Tim, Tom, anything you want to share from a customer support perspective?
Just to remind everybody, if they need anything, please don't hesitate to send us an email at support@alltheleads.com, and we track those tickets that come in and assign it to the appropriate people to get back to you as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It.
That's a good point. We have 4 partners and we have 5 employees, and all of my partners will tell you, you can call me anytime, but I am the worst person to answer any of the technology questions. The best way to get the best person to help you back quickly is do exactly what Tom said. Just send an email to support@alltheleads.com. We all read that. Our average response time is less than 15 minutes. Somebody will usually get back to you, and it'll usually be the best person that's able to help you. So, excuse me. Having said that, let's get to the people in the queue. We've got 3 people in there, and we've got time for at least 3 more, guys. So don't hesitate. Hit *6 and then hit 1. And I think I recognize this phone number. Weichert Realtor, is that Roger?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Roger. Thank you. Thank you for contributing, as always. How are you this week?
Jazzed, really jazzed.
Good.
I'm going to change the base of the conversation here, I think, because I'm so jazzed about it. I've been in the program for about 8 months now, and have gotten about 4 leads on it. But I always go back to my base that I'm a realtor and first, and that I'm helping people with probate. Notice that I said I'm helping people with probate second, but I'm a realtor first, and I want to relay to you that one of the things that a realtor does is whenever he gets a listing, first thing that he does is go to the neighbors and always invite them to have an opportunity to purchase the property next door. Smart man always buys the property next door if he can afford it and if it comes up. Any chance you get, you try to do that. I call those one-off leads, one off of my probate list, and I give entire credit to my return on investment with that effort, because I would not be in that neighborhood. I would not be in that. I would not have that listing without the probate list directing me to that heir who wants to sell the property. Bottom line to it is, I've had a couple of those that have taken place, and I quit counting how many leads that I got and what the return on investment is directly from the list. I am including the return on the one-off leads because they're a direct result of the probate, me being in the probate neighborhood. So I guess basically what I'm saying is, just within the program for 8 months, I just calculated on my calculator here, I've had about a 700% return on my investment.
Wow, that's great.
Woo! That's what we want to hear.
And Roger, you haven't even had the $8 million one close yet, right?
No, I haven't. I've been in constant contact. I'm excited also because there's finally in my area a real estate investment club that comes in. I'm watching closely who's wholesaling and who's really investing for what they're doing, and I've finally joined the REI group and have a meeting next week, and I'm looking for the big investors. I need to get an offer and present to the owner that has the property in a trust for part of the $8 million.
And for those of you that haven't been on previous calls, your very first probate call, you ended up getting an $8 million listing, which is phenomenal. And now we're just waiting for it to close so you could get a return on that. I want to make one comment, Roger, and forgive me if people have heard me say this before. We had an agent, it was probably 5 or 6 months ago. we always recommend you get your team together. And part of this agent's team, it was a female agent. Forgive me, I can't remember her name, but the estate liquidation company had bought the valuables, and then they were going out to do just a huge yard sale on a Saturday. And on one of our calls, an agent asked, do I need to attend that, the estate sale? And we said, they're licensed, they're bonded, you probably don't need to. And this lady piped up and said, I thought that, and just for the heck of it, I decided to go out there for the yard sale from the estate company. I met 13 of the neighbors, and I listed 3 of their properties. Because, who shows up for garage sales, yard sales? Everybody shows up and buys each other's stuff. And so it was a great way for her to kind of do a just listed, just sold in the neighborhood and have them all come to her. And it's kind of on the topic you're going to. Those are one-offs, but it's a presence in the neighborhood that you wouldn't have had without the probate. And when they see you out there doing all these extra services and they just got a regular old house to sell, I think it gives them a lot of confidence that if you're willing to go out of your way for somebody that really needs help, that you'd be the agent to go to for a regular listing. So I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. And Roger, you are also doing an attorney campaign. Have you made? I believe that was you, correct?
Doing a what campaign?
Were you doing a campaign to the attorneys, or am I confusing you with someone else? An email campaign to the attorneys?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And that's another thing I wanted to mention. You just reminded me that we do get email addresses for the attorneys, and I think we have 5 or 6, of our agents that aggressively work the attorneys. Most of them don't, and so I just wanted to compliment you on that also. And this, I believe that $8 million listing actually came as indirectly through an attorney, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, excellent. So anything? Go ahead, please.
It just takes time for me to mature in the business, figure out which way is the best way to spend my time and the like. I'm overly excited, Chad, that you're going to be having next week come out with the CRM. I am so juiced about next week, man. And I really am excited about that. I'm tired of mail merging and working off the paper, and I can't wait to transcribe all my notes into the CRM that's coming out. Can you give me an update on that?
Well, our partner Tim is taking some much needed time off, so we're gonna let him out of his cage and go enjoy his life for a bit. So we don't have a specific timeline. But hopefully by the end of July we should have it done for sure.
Well,
I know it's frustrating for everybody because we want to get it out, but each time we add something or improve something, it's software, so it takes time, right? So we just want to make sure that we've got the final product that we want to give you guys before we do all the training resources and everything with it. But it will streamline everything you're doing.
Well, I really appreciate your work, and I know that it'll get out when it's ready. And I'm excited, and I'm really anticipating that and looking forward to that.
Roger, thanks so much as always for being willing to contribute. We have 3 other people in the queue. Is there anything else that you wanted to add today?
Nope, done.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. All right, phone number ending in 8285. You are up.
Hi, this is Phil Baru in Lakewood, Colorado. How you doing?
Hey, Phil. Welcome. Doing great, except for the cold.
Thanks.
How are you?
Well, I'm doing wonderful. Hey, I have what I think is a fairly simple question, and I've been kind of a slow start here through nobody's fault but my own. But I've gone through the letters you have in your template, and I've kind of done what ended up feeling like a major rewrite to get my letters done. And I'm wondering, should I send that off to Chad or somebody and have them look it over? I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but I do want the letters to kind of reflect my style and how I do business. But I also want to hit enough of the high points that they're getting the point across that you guys have developed.
Yeah, Tim.
So
go ahead. Tim had a comment also. Go ahead.
Tim, you want to take it?
No, go ahead, Chad. I'm sorry. We both were.
I was going to say we have part of what we do is help with copywriting and reviewing letters. Jim, I've got a bad echo.
Yeah, I think that is Tom. Tom, I'm going to mute you out, buddy. Hang on a minute. Let me find him. All right, you should be good now.
No, that's anyway.
Well, hey, can you hear me? This is Tim. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
The echo.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to finish this and mute myself back off. It appears we're all having challenges right now. But the issue is, if you've got something you'd like us to review and all of that, we have a team that handles the mailing, and the Mailbox Motivator folks will be glad to help you do that. They work with customers every single day. Whether you ask us to edit them or not, we always inspect every letter that comes in. We attempt to make sure that they're correct, that they're unique, that they're different, and that team takes real great pride in making sure that we do really the very best job in the industry as far as direct mail at a crazy, ridiculous price. As you know, Chad has often said, we're probably 75 cents to $1 per letter less expensive than the competition offering the same service with no minimum quantity or anything else. But if you've got something you'd like us to review, just attach it to support@alltheleads.com and ask us to do that. And Paula will likely get back to you. She's sort of the head honcho of that program, and we'll let you know. And anything we can do to help you, we will. But certainly we'll help you take a look at that.
That sounds wonderful. That was my only question for now.
All right, thank you. We have one more question in the queue, and we've got time for at least 3 or 4 more, guys. Please hit *6 and hit 1. Roger, if you got to come back and make another comment, feel free to do so. We'll go to Penny in Phoenix, I believe. Do I have the right Penny?
Yes. Yeah, you have the right one this time. So this is Penny Parker in Phoenix, and I just wanted to talk about the estate sale aspect because my mother owns an estate sale company, and I'm her cashier for a reason. So if it's my listing, I go and I set up a big table, and I have a big drawing, and I give away a $50 gift card to Home Depot, and I usually average on about 100 names and numbers to put into my CRM. And then, of course, I talk to people there and I ask them, okay, who do you know that wants to buy, sell, or invest, obviously. So it really fills up my pipeline. So it's a great tool to not only sell the property you're at and get listings and then have future sellers.
Penny, you're breaking up a little bit. I heard we just missed the last sentence, I think. You said it's a great tool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying it's a great tool to use. I always recommend everybody to be at the estate sale. So it's a great tool to use to, get future buyers and sellers.
Excellent. Great point.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing. I'd like to hear, Penny, an idea of if they're not a cashier for the estate sale company, what do you think is the best way for them to have that kind of a presence, like a table and a drawing? Are estate sale companies open to that type of thing, to co-market, to have a realtor there marketing?
Yeah, I don't see why not. You want to partner with estate sale companies. Obviously, you're promoting them and getting them business. So why wouldn't they want an extra person there, just for crowd control? And most estate sale companies, at least the smart ones, have their own email list. So you can obviously share the names and numbers of the email list and have them also, add it to their database.
True. That's a very good point. So why wouldn't they want to know every person that was at that sale that day, because then they can promote the next sale to them?
Yeah, exactly. So my mother is my greatest source of business.
Yeah, and what I find is most estate sale companies aren't real tech savvy. Like they're not the greatest marketers because they're so damn busy doing everything that it takes to run the company. And this is in my area, but I kind of got my wheels turning. So if you were to go say, listen, I'll set up a little station and make sure we capture everybody's information that comes in, like kind of have a register at the gate kind of thing, and that way, anyone who makes offers, and especially anyone who wants to make an offer like on day one, if you say, well, I'd give you $20 here, they'll take your name and number. But if you could take that and get it, build an email list, so as the realtor, provide value to the estate sale company by saying, you know what, I'll be your marketing guy for the day, and I'm going to try to capture everybody's email and name at the front gate, and we'll have a drawing at the end, so it's mutually beneficial. That's awesome. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. And she has about 200 people in line at her estate sale, so I go out in the crowd before the doors even open and take a clipboard and start working the crowd out there.
Penny, what do you offer them as far as the drawing to get them to go ahead and register? Is it a gift card? Or?
Yeah, just a $50 gift card to Home Depot. Everybody seems to be real happy with that.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, and I'll even get my preferred. Like if I know it's going to be a really big estate sale, I have some people that are on my team coming out. And then also my insurance guy loves to come and work those as well. So he'll bring like a $100 gift card. And then one of my lenders will show up too, with even more information. And she usually brings a $100 gift card.
You reminded me, one of my Facebook friends gives away, he's a realtor in California. He gives away a $1 lottery, scratch card for everybody who shows up and registers. And he got a lot of publicity this week because the third person that stopped by scratched the card and won $600,000.
Oh my goodness, that's newsworthy.
I'm sure on one hand he thought, "Dang, I should have given away a gift card." On the other hand, he got a heck of a lot of publicity. So, yeah, anything you could give them. Penny, we always recommend, and I think all of our agents have some type of an estate sale company, but does your company go through and buy the valuables first, or do they pretty much just sell everything in an auction type environment, or is it a combination of those elements?
Yeah, it's a combination. So if there's not enough to have an estate sale, because she does usually a hoarder's estate, big ones, then she'll buy out the valuables, or maybe they can't have an estate sale. There's some exclusive communities around Phoenix. So she'll move them, for a fee. Of course, she has a couple of guys that work with her. Move it to another house and color code it, or however she wants to keep track of it, and combine a couple of estates. And then it's just a percentage. If there's enough to have it in the house, and she knows she can make the money she needs to make, then it'll just be a percentage of the total sales.
That's great.
But it's a great way to get a listing, because you can let people know that you're going to be there and market the house for sale, even if it's a coming soon, if they want to do some work. And a lot of times, I had just recently a lady come in, and the house was up for sale. I wasn't the agent on that one. She came through and she said, "Well, I'm interested in the house." And I said, "Great, I'm a real estate agent." So she ended up getting the house, and then I listed her house as soon as she got moved out.
Wonderful. Double dipper. That's great. Penny, you've been doing, I know you've been attempting to work this niche for a while, and I know you were getting the leads from another company, but you recently switched to us, and you had shared with me, I think the difference, I think, is the support and the training, and plus the phone numbers. Have you actually started calling? You just getting your first set of leads from us, correct?
Yes, and I'm a little bit technically challenged because I used to get the information in a different format, which I really liked, which is the PDF, kind of like what the CRM is going to do. So I'm a little technically challenged, but I'm hoping today I'll get that worked out so I can actually start accessing it and, start calling.
Great. With your background, you're going to do phenomenal, so I appreciate it, and thank you for coming over to the good side. I appreciate your business. I appreciate your comments. As far as getting it in a different format, if you have any issues with that, just send it to support@alltheleads.com. If if there's anything we can do to make that easier for you, we will. Like I said, I don't know what's involved there, but our tech people will look at that and help you with it if we can.
Okay, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And first and last caller of the day, we've got Roger. He's back. Roger, you're back. Thank you, sir.
I think that everything boils down to being a realtor, including a realtor with a heart. And I lost a listing, and I may not have lost it, but I have renewed my commitment to basics. Always keep a pen in your pocket so that you can write something down, and always keep a listing contract and a buyer's contract in the back in the folder of the back seat, right back there, so that whenever you go to a first call on a probate, if the heir wants to say, well, are we ready to list this? If you're not ready to take the listing right there, you can go to the car, pull the listing out of the back pocket of the front seat, and walk in with the listing and have everything there for you. I lost one today last week because of that. That didn't come with a listing agreement. Oh, gag. That's real. That's salesmanship 101.
You just went by for a meet and greet and weren't expecting to get the listing and weren't prepared for it. Sure.
Yes, and exactly. And I had done a real quick current pendings and solds in the area, and I just told them, give them an idea of what we were talking about, yada yada yada. And they said, well, are we ready to list this right now? And I just sit there and I went, oh, geez. Did I do that? Or didn't do that? And I said, well, I'll come back early next week, follow up, and they said somebody brought somebody by and they're interested in purchasing the property. And I just kind of went,
ouch. Well, fortunately, we don't make that same mistake twice. Thank you for sharing.
Exactly. So
yep.
That's the last thing I've got.
I'll tag on to that, Roger. So what? And it's made my appointments much smoother. I take it a step further and make sure that before I go to any house, I have a listing agreement pre-filled with all the tax information. So it's, you're not fumbling around asking about square footage and this and that. You already filled all those details in. So if you could have pulled out a pre-filled listing agreement and said just sign here and here and we're done, that would have had a huge impact. But just ideas for people. On every listing appointment, I go on every single one with a pre-filled listing. It takes 5 minutes to pull the information off of GIS and have all that already done, rather than, fumbling through it and making your listing appointment longer just to get all those questions answered.
Well,
excellent, guys.
Then the follow up to that is get a sign out there, coming soon, and let it take some time to get up there, and you'll get buyers that'll make a call off the sign.
Roger, if you really want to get real brave, back when I was selling, if I had one that I really was sure I was going to get, I'd get out of the car and put up the sign, and then go knock on the door. If they had a sense of humor, I knew they weren't going to mind. You don't do that on everyone, but call a presumptive close. Oh, you got the sign up already? Okay, great. Come on in. I guess we're going to list with you. That's great, guys. Well, thank you, Roger. You are our first and last call of the day. Forgive me all for coughing in your ears for the last 30 minutes. I can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys. It makes our week with people like you, Roger and Penny, and everybody who shows up and contributes and participates. And I always like to end these calls by challenging everyone. Take one thing that you heard today, one thought, one idea, go out and put it into practice next week, and please come back next Thursday and share your successes with the group. Thank you so much, guys. You know where to reach us between now and next Thursday. Make it a great week, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.